it's Valerie at Resin and Roche. So I'm going to dive right into the video, but before that, there's a special collaboration going on. I just want to show you what I'm doing here quickly, and then we'll get into that. Now, I don't know if any of you have done an eco pour onto a silicone mold like this, a jar mold, and you can see that the top bit isn't a perfect circle. And that's because if you've got a silicone mold that doesn't have not a foundation, what's the word? Support, then yes, it has a tendency to either bubble on the inside or not have that perfect circle. So this is just a little trick I'm going to show you. What I do is I'm going to cut this cup and fill it up with eco resin. I'm doing it this way. Now, I know of other people who actually fill in that void with resin, but I really don't have that much resin to waste. I mean, it isn't really a waste, but for me, I'm counting pennies. So this is the best way for me personally that I'm sharing with you. So while I'm cutting that and mixing the eco pour, I would like to talk to you about this special collaboration. So this is hosted by the lovely Lula from Nerd Goblin Art. If you haven't subscribed to her, please do it, because Lula is one of my favorite creators. She is overflowing with creativity. She's genuine, she's lovely, and I'm really full of compliments, but I'm just gonna stop by gushing right here. There are also a lot of talented creators here. So, link in the description. Please watch all of them, check them out, and give them a thumbs up and subscribe to keep up with their amazing work. I am telling you, you will not be disappointed. Trust me here, please, guys. Okay, so I haven't mentioned it yet. I've actually haven't mentioned the name of the collaboration. Okay, here's some hints if you haven't seen any of the videos. He's a Dutch master. Okay, he's had his ear cut off. He's famous for his Starry Night, sunflowers, and another one is the cafe scenes. I still haven't mentioned his name because when I told my Dutch friend I was doing a Van Gogh collaboration, he actually spent half an hour trying to teach me that it wasn't Vincent van Gogh, but Vincent van Gogh. Oh my God, I'm probably murdering Van Gogh. Gogh. So it's spelled G-O phlegm. So yes, any Dutch or even German friends watching, I'm sorry I butchered it. But yes, Vincent van Gogh or Van Gogh. Okay, I'm being silly here. But I'm mixing just a tiny bit of this eco pour. I'm actually using JDiction's resin crate. I love this one. It's easy. It's a 3-to-1 mix ratio. I've got dyscalculia, and maths is really, really difficult for me. I use my phone to film, and so I can't use a calculator while I'm filming because the phone is above me on a holder. So I like to do just anything divisible by 3. So here I'm only doing 30 grams of powder with 10 grams of water. And a great thing, okay. This I have to tell you. So I'm just adding fillers here. These are just old bits of dried up Ecopore, and I just break them up and use them as fillers, as I do all the time. So I was about to say, it's hardly used and not everyone knows it, but if you go to the JDiction website, there is actually a calculator, and it will help you calculate how much resin-crete you need to mix for the amount you're looking to pour. Now, I have used that in previous projects, but unfortunately, I got started on this before I had a chance to check. But that's okay. I've mixed a little bit too little, but here's the thing. You can always top it up with the extra bits, your dried up bits or the extras if you've got it, which I'm going to do. I'm faffing here again. I like to clean. I'm always cleaning. And so here I've got these green rocky bits I was going to use for another project, but then decided to just use it as a filler. So I'm going to do that. Put that in, let that dry, and we will be back in about, I don't know, an hour or 2 when it's completely cooled down after curing. And then we move on to the actual project. See you in a bit. So this is all cured now, and as you can see, I have my little insert for my mold. Now all I'm going to do with that is use the mold as per usual, upside down, but with that, bolstering the sides so I don't get any misshapen bits. So I actually haven't talked to you about what I am doing. Today I am going to combine the Starry Night and the sunflower paintings into one idea. We're going to make a sunflower candle, going to make the candle jar, a tray, and a few sunflower wax melts. I hope you enjoy it. There's a lot going on, so I'm going to try to cut this as much as possible so that, I don't bore you. So I'm mixing again here. And while I'm mixing, I just wanted to tell you that by the time you see this video, I would have reached 600 subscribers. And I just wanted to say a huge thank you. And I'm well on my way to getting the first tier, which is channel memberships and special badges when it comes to lives. I just wanted to say that I thank you again for the bottom of my heart for all of your support. Now I'm only halfway to 3,000 watch hours. I know it feels like another huge mountain to climb to reach that next milestone. But please, if you can, put my playlist on, watch my videos, or even just put them on the background. It will really, really help me reach my next big achievement. So, thank you again for all your support. Also, I have added my address in my description for Happy Mail, including a PayPal donate button. So if you want to buy me a coffee through the PayPal, you can do that as well. So, done with my shameless plug. Let's get back into this. So I'm mixing this blue. This is about as dark as it gets because I don't have black to darken this blue. So we're just gonna have to deal with it and do that. I'm not going to marble because this is a water-based dye. And what happens with water-based pigments is they tend to move as your piece or as your eco pour starts to set and water evaporates. Okay, it moves towards the center. It moves towards where the airflow would where blah 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 blah. Sort of where the it's going to move towards that hole basically where you poured it from. So what happens is the color will never stay completely blue like this. Some bits will be darker, some bits will be lighter. And that's maybe due to my pigment. I'm sure in your country you have actual resin-crete or eco resin pigments that don't do this and give you a nice solid color all round. But for a big pour like this, you're going to see that that's how it is. It is what it is. So this extra I'm going to put into this tray mold. Try to pour as high as you can. That helps. And of course, work quickly if you can, because this sets up on you. And once it gets thick, you reach a point of no return, and there's nothing you can do to get that watery again. So I'm going to leave this to set, and we will be back for the next round or the next portion of the video after I do major tappy tappies and squidgy widgies. Okay, now on to the next order of business. It's going to be the wax bit. So I have melted a tiny bit of soy wax here, and we're going to color it and mold our first sunflower. So here's the mold, the sunflower mold. I'm going to try and get the brown in the center, and then get that dark yellow or orangey yellow for the petals. So just looking for my needle here because I have not used brown or yellow candle dyes before. It's funny because I never use yellow, or hardly will ever use brown. It's just not my go-to colors. So there's that brown. Definitely need trying this one, which is coffee. It looks much darker. And I've got a bug attracted to the light again. I've got company. So I'm doing this quickly. It's not an actual candle tutorial. If that's something that you want, I can do that for you. Took me years to actually learn candles because it's much more difficult than you think. Just adding a tiny bit of red here to get, a sort of different kind of brown. I wanted a tiny bit of mahogany if possible. But anyway, so you'd think you put a wick and wax into a candle and that is it. No, it's much deeper than that. You need the correct sized wick for the correct sized vessel or candle, the correct type of wax, the correct amount of fragrance, because you have hot throw and cold throw. Not getting into it, just giving you a little gist of what goes into making candles. There's safety involved, the rate at which the candle melts, the pooling, the curing time. Uh, so basically, when I formulate one candle, I'm making at least 6 of the same candle just for the experimentation phase. So it's a lot. Probably would be better to have a separate candle channel, but no, resin's the game for now. But I'm babbling and waffling again. Stop waffling. I'm coming back. Okay, moving on. Telling myself I'm moving on. So now that the brown center bit has set, I'm going to mix the yellow bit, the yellow petals. Again, I have soy wax here. I have used a double boiler, so just a little pot of hot water, and then put my bottle in with a little bit of the soy wax because I just needed to do small amounts here. And I'm mixing, I don't know, about a drop of orange just to darken the yellow pigment. And I'm going to do the petals. So after pouring this, I will do the others off camera because I only have the one mold and I want at least 5 of these flowers. So you give it a mixy. A little bit more orange. Also with wax, it's almost, well, a little bit like resin-crete, but not, it doesn't dry as white, but it does dry opaque-ish. So this color will lighten when it's dry and set. So there we go. And we will be back for the next part of the video again. So yes, this is about, I don't know, at least 3 days in the making. So it's time to demold our candle jar or pot. Let's see if putting that barrier or that insert worked. Okay, so we've got our jar done. Get your molds turned back right side, just to make sure you keep them for longer so they don't get misshapen. And then I just put in that that plug, and then we're on to the next bit. So you can see it's a bit shiny here. What I did was seal it with my homemade sealer, and then I'm going to demold the last of the sunflowers. Now these sunflowers, because they are wax tarts, wax melts, big wax melts are called wax tarts. Yes, tarts. But yes, they are scented. One of them will be the topper of our candle, and the rest you could just put in a burner, the little tea light underneath, and that will fragrance your room. So yeah, they came out very cute actually. It's a very soft silicone mold. I'm afraid to sort of clean it out right now because of all the little bits, and I might break it and tear off the silicone. Okay, let's do the candle. First, we need a wick. I'm going to use a CL12. I think it's a 12. Yes, it's a 12. I've got 10, 12, and 14 here. I get my candle stuff, well, from when I lived in the UK, from Candle Shack. Really love that company for fragrances, candle stuff, glass jars, anything that you would need for making candles, reed diffusers, and wax melts. But you know, you can always start with an Amazon candle making kit. That's how I started, and I wanted to learn more, wanted to go deeper, and that was when I decided to start my candle business when I was still living in London years ago. So now we've got the wick, put it in there with sticker, and we're going to put in this soy wax again. This is a container wax, and I'm leaving it its natural color, which is like a creamy white. Here I have a wick sustainer. It's just a lolly stick that has a hole in the middle, which I have accidentally used to mix resin. And it was a bit too late when I found that out. So again, I melted this on a double boiler, so the jug is warm. Just using a tea towel to not burn my fingers or my hands. I'm going to pour it about 3/4 high because I want space for the sunflower that I'm going to put on top. So I'm going to let this cure and set for about 24 hours, and then we'll be back to what I hope is the final stage. So the candle is all set now, and the last thing I need to do is make a hole in one of the sunflowers, well, the center of the sunflower, and thread the wick through it. So here I am just choosing which one I want. And I've got my trusty little drill here. If you've got a candle needle, perfect, but I find that this little drill just does it in a blink of an eye, really. So just go through, and that's about it. And then thread that in. And we are done. What have I done? Oh, I decided to use a different one. Sorry, I filmed this ages ago. I decided to use the darkest one, the orangey one. So just do that again. It's an artist's prerogative to change your mind. So here I'm just using a brush to dust off any little bits that have come out from drilling. There we go. I'm going to cut the wick to the correct size. You want it about 1/4 inch tall. At first I thought I wanted to twist the wick and realized, nope, too short. Let's just cut it. And there we go. So I really hope you like what I've done for this Van Gogh collaboration. It's very simple, but very effective. Nice decoration for your home. And I'm just going to arrange it on a tray. Again, I'd like to remind you to click on the playlist link and watch all the videos. Great artists, and I'm really excited to see what everyone has come up with and all the different artist mediums in memory of Van Gogh and his birthday today. Don't forget to leave a comment, a like, and a subscribe if you enjoyed this, and I will see you on my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye!